Today's session we will discuss the summary or the overview of the entire second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is the flow of the entire second chapter of Bhagavad Gita? In the first chapter, which is titled as Arjuna Vishada Yoga, how Arjuna gave 4 reasons for not fighting the war, Mahabharata war. He gave all valid reasons why he should not fight. And he was so upset, depressed, sad, he gave up his bow Gandiva and he sat down crying. He said that I just can't handle this. So that was the end of first chapter. So now Sanjaya is giving this report to Dhritarashtra because Bhagavad Gita has 2-level conversation. First conversation is between Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. They are talking to each other. Inside their conversation, what Krishna and Arjuna are talking is coming. So that's how we see both sometimes coming. Now Sanjaya told Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra wanted to know, see, all these people have gathered in Dharmakshetra. Is there any impact of Dharmakshetra on these people? So Duryodhana, there was no impact, but Arjuna, there is a lot of impact. So that he said, I will not fight. He said, this is adharma. We will get papa if we do like this. How can we kill our own people? Like this, he gave so many reasons. So now Sanjaya said that Arjuna is full of tears. He's lost his confidence. Not because he's incapable, it is for different reasons. Reason of not doing something wrong. For these reasons, he's feeling so sorrow and he said, I'll not fight. So Sanjaya said, Tam statha kripaya vishtam. He's so much overtaken by kripaya, compassion for his own people, that full of tears, ashru, asu in Hindi they say. It comes from the Sanskrit word ashru. Ashru purna, full of tears. Ashrupurna kulekshanam, akula. There's no happiness in his face. It's full of depression on his face. Akula ikshanam. He's seeing very sad. Vishidantam. He's crying, he's lamenting. Vishidantam. By seeing Arjuna like this, Krishna started speaking. So as we know, in the entire first chapter, Krishna has not spoken. Even though we call this as Bhagavad Gita, but Krishna starts speaking from the second chapter onwards. So Krishna, Madhusudana started speaking. Now, Krishna starts speaking from the second verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So here it is very clearly addressing Krishna as Bhagavan, not an ordinary person. He may be a chariot driver of Arjun, but who is he? His original position is Bhagavan. Bhagavan Uvacha. He spoke. What did he say? Kutastva kashmalam idam vishame samupasthitam. From where this weakness came, Arjuna? In this important time, in this crisis, this is such an emergency, important time. The war is about to start because everybody blew their conch shell. Shankhanadas happened. It's like, before the exam, the bell ringing happens. It means now you have to enter. After this, not much time. So like that, Shankhanadas happened. And that time you start fighting. And now you're saying, you're crying, you're saying, no, I'll not fight. So Krishna is saying, Vishame samupasthitam kutastva kashmalam. This weakness, these impurities. From where these impurities came? Actually, you see, the way Krishna is speaking to Arjuna is very interesting to notice. Krishna did not call Arjuna that you are a weak person. He said, where the weakness came upon you. There are 2 things. Calling you are a weak person, from where the weakness came to you. In this, Krishna is separating Arjuna from the weakness that has come upon us. When we talk to people, sometimes we personally attack them. You are a bad person. You are useless. That is like personalizing the problem. Attacking person personally. But Krishna did not attack Arjuna personally. See how sensitively God is speaking. Arjuna is in trouble. He's expressing his problem. He's saying, I'll not fight. So Krishna is saying, Kutastva kashmalam idam. Kashmala, this impurities or weakness, from where this came? This does not become you, Arjuna. That means he's saying, you're not weak, but weakness has come upon you. You're a good person, but weakness has haunted you. It has come upon you. So Krishna is separating the impurities or a weakness or problem from the person. This is very important. Especially when you're talking to a person who is going through a problem, you personally attack them, then the problem becomes even bigger. So Krishna very sensitively started speaking to Arjuna. That's what we see. And in the next two lines, Krishna said what the outside world is going to think about Arjuna. Anarya jushtam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. You may be, internally you are so awakened. Jagrat ho gaya. Internally, oh, this is all wrong. We should not do this. This is pap. This is bad. We should be very nice to our own family people. We should not kill. So many things Arjuna is internally, the change has happened inside. So he has got some good knowledge, awakening. He's saying, Krishna, we should not fight. This is wrong. But Krishna is saying, see, you may be saying because of my conscience. Conscience means the voice that we hear inside, the good voice we hear inside. So because of your conscience, you are saying, I'll not fight. But outside, people are going to think that out of cowardice, you are not going to fight. You're a kair. You're a coward. So, anarya jushtam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. This will bring infamous. You'll become infamous as somebody who ran away from warfield. People will laugh. They say Arjun did not go because of some good feelings in his heart. They will think he ran away because he was unable to fight. He was incompetent. So why are you thinking like this? So Krishna was asking Arjun like this. This is anarya jushtam. This is not the proper behavior. See, when somebody is very genuinely, like Arjuna is genuinely saying good reasons, right? He's giving all good reasons. And those are all very genuine reasons. But Krishna is dismissing them, saying that this is all a very bad behavior, anarya jushtam. And you become infamous if you run away like this. And then in the shloka number 3, he said, Klaibyamma smagama partha naitatvai upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam. It is weakness of your heart. Hridaya daurbalya, durbal. Heart has become very weak, not some heart problem. It's talking about some weakness. Hridaya daurbalyam. Oh Arjun, you're talking all these things out of your weakness. That's what people are also going to say. Out of weakness only he ran away. Like this. So Arjuna felt very angry actually. When Krishna spoke like this, Arjuna felt angry. I am not speaking out of some cowardice or weakness of my heart and all that. I'm not coward. I'm very considerate. And so Arjuna continues to give argument after this. So Arjuna uvacha, Katham bhishmam aham sanke dronam cha madhusudana. Krishna, please don't think that I am behaving in a wrong manner. You called me anarya jushtam. Anarya. Look, I am giving you a very wonderful reason. How can we attack our own superiors, elderly people like Bhishma, Drona? Drona is my guru. Bhishma is my grandfather. So because I'm Arya, I'm civilized person. I'm a very good person. That is why I'm thinking all these things. So Arjuna is giving further reasons that, what you're thinking is not correct. I'm not anarya jushtam. Katham bhishmam aham sanke dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarha arisudana. Pujarha. They are worshipable people. I'm so considerate. What all I'm considering? Look at their position. What are their position? Is my teacher, my guru, my superiors like Pitamaha, Bhishma, and they're worshipable people. How can we attack them? I am not saying I'll not fight. Please don't call me I am a weak-hearted person. Don't think I have some weakness. Look, my thinking, Arjuna is saying his thinking is great, some very strong, solid thinking. So, Gurun Ahatvahi Mahanubhavan, they're all Mahanubhavas. How can we attack such Mahanubhavas and kill them? So, Arjuna is continue to give his reasons that he is not thinking in an anarya manner. Because Krishna called him as anarya. So, Arjuna felt angry. No, why are you calling me anarya? No, I am not. So like this Arjuna. But finally, Arjuna agreed. In the 6th and 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter, even though he is giving all great reasons, but he is confused. So Arjuna told in the 6th verse, Na chaitat vidma kataranno gariyo. We don't know whether fighting is better or not fighting is better, killing is better or getting killed is better. I just don't know. Even though I am giving all these great reasons, but Arjuna agreed that he is confused. Which is better? He doesn't know. So in the 7th chapter, Arjuna asked a most important question, which is called a driving question of the whole Bhagavad Gita. What is that? He said, Pruchami tvam dharma sammoda chetaha. In this situation, what is the right thing to do? What is my dharma? What is my duty? What is the right thing, correct thing to do? Krishna, you please tell me. Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pruchami tvam dharma sammodha chetaha yat shreyasya nishchitan bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I surrender unto you. Please consider me as your student, disciple, and please act as my guru, and please tell me what is the right thing to do. Actually, we need to understand Arjuna's situation here. Actually, for anybody to do any work in this world, for all of us to do our work in this world, we need motivation. Why do I do this work? Right? The motivation could be enjoyment, pleasure. It gives me enjoyment, it gives me pleasure, so we do the work. Right? Or it's not always enjoyment or pleasure. Sometimes we find it's very meaningful, or it has a great purpose. So then also we do this, even though it is not very pleasurable, but it has got a bigger purpose. There is very value. I see a value in that. So even though I am not enjoying it, but still I do it because I see a purpose. I see meaning, right? Like for example, we take medicine. I may not enjoy the medicine, but I still take the medicine because I see a meaning there. Oh, it is meaningful because I become healthy, so I take medicine. So I am not enjoying the medicine, but I still take the medicine because I see meaning, value, purpose. Sometimes I do some activity, there is no meaning for those activities, but we still do because I like doing it. I enjoy doing that. Like watching social media endlessly. There is no value, there is no meaning, there is no purpose, but I like doing it. It gives me some happiness. So there can be two reasons for our actions. Either the pleasure or the purpose or meaning. So now Arjuna is saying at this point in time, neither he sees any pleasure nor there is any meaning or purpose in this war. As a Kshatriya, he should enjoy fighting. He should enjoy his duty, fighting. But you see in the first chapter, we see he's saying, I'm feeling terrible. This fighting is making me feel terrible. It is no more pleasurable. The outcome of this war, the result of this war, even if we win, I don't see any meaning in that victory. Already Arjuna has told this in the first chapter. Even if we win this, again he repeats this in the shloka number 8 and 9. He says, Nahi prapashyami mamanupashyat yat shokam uchchoshanam indriyanam. Even if we win, avapya bhumau asapatnyam ruddham rajyam suranam apichadhipatyam. Even if we win this, even if they win the whole 3 world, I don't see there is any use in that. So imagine your life, what you are doing you don't enjoy. The result what you are getting also, it is making no value, no purpose, no sense. So it is called a crisis. It is called crisis. So you think of a 4 quadrant, x-axis, y-axis. X-axis is pleasurable, non-pleasurable. Y-axis, meaningful, not meaningful. So the best situation in our life is what I do, I enjoy, and it is also very meaningful. It is giving me a lot of meaning. It is giving me a higher purpose. Very valuable, and I also like doing that. That is what the best situation. Worst situation is I don't enjoy what I am doing. I also don't see any meaning in that. So that's where Arjuna is there now. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken to a person who was in the worst situation of his life. He's just saying, I have no enjoyment in what I'm doing now. I also don't see any meaning, any purpose, any value of the outcome. So I just don't know why I am there, why I exist. I just find totally my life is meaningless. So this was the situation that Arjuna was in. So now how Krishna helped Arjuna to move from this crisis situation of no happiness and no meaning in the life. At least we should enjoy if I don't find any meaning, or at least I should have a meaning if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, right? Like the remaining 2 quadrants are like that. I don't enjoy, but I see a meaning. Or what is another one? There is no meaning, but I enjoy it, right? So the worst is this, no enjoyment, no meaning. So Krishna is going to help Arjuna move from this quadrant of no happiness and no meaning, no purpose, to happiness and full of meaning in his life. This same war, Arjuna is going to like it. At the same time, Arjuna is going to see a very big meaning in that. So Bhagavad Gita is such a motivational knowledge that it can help a person move from such horrible state of mind to a very meaningful state of mind. So this is what Arjuna's situation so far. Then, now again Sanjaya told Dhritarashtra. So like this Arjuna requested, and now Krishna, by looking at Arjuna, is now going to speak. And now Krishna starts speaking. Tam uvacha rishikesham prahasan iva bharata. Sanjay is still speaking. By looking at Arjuna, it is said Krishna is prahasan. Hasan. What does has means in Sanskrit or Hindi? Smile. So Krishna is smiling. It is said, Tam tata kripaya vishtam ashru purna kulekshanam. What is Arjuna's situation? Ashru purna, full of tears. He's crying. Vishidantam is sad. His face is sunk, is dull. He's full of tears and all that. And what is Krishna? Prahasan. He's smiling. When somebody comes to you crying, sad, depressed, and you start smiling at them, what will they think? They'll think, are you sadist? I am crying. I am sad. And you're smiling at me. You're laughing at me. Only saddest person can do like this. How can Krishna smile when Arjuna is suffering like this? Actually, Krishna, it's a very big contrast. Arjuna is sad and crying. Krishna is smiling. So Krishna is not enjoying Arjuna's problem. Saddest people are those who enjoy by seeing others' problem. But Krishna is not enjoying, he is not smiling by Arjuna's suffering. Krishna is smiling for a different reason. Krishna is smiling, he is appreciating the situation. The situation where Arjuna is a very special situation. When somebody is going through problem, especially emotional breakdown. What Arjuna is going through is an emotional breakdown. Sad, upset, depressed, crying, emotional breakdown. That time people look for consolation. They look for consolation. People should talk to them very nicely, make them feel good, make them feel positive, and say, don't worry. It's called consolation, counseling them, consoling them. Like somebody's crying, oh, something happened to me, I failed in my exam, and this, that, and all. That time you cannot talk philosophy to them. You have to talk. You have to console them. No, kuch nahi hoga. Don't worry. Like this. So Arjuna was actually going through a breakdown in his life. But he was not looking for consolation. In the 7th shloka of 2nd chapter, he is asking education from Krishna. He is asking, what is my dharma? He did not tell Krishna, can you please talk sweetly to me and make me feel good? This is not what Arjuna is asking. That is why Krishna is appreciating this and is smiling at Arjuna. Even though you are going through a problem, breakdown, you are suffering, but greatness of Arjuna is that he is not just looking for consolation, he is looking for education. Isn't it? That is why Krishna is smiling by seeing this special quality of Arjuna, that Arjuna, you're so nice, you're so good, I appreciate that. Isn't it? So, generally we all look for consolation. But what Arjuna is looking for? Education. That's one thing that we... Dharma sammoda chetaha. He says, Krishna, bruhi, please tell me, what is my dharma? Educate me. Right? This is greatness. Now, Krishna start speaking. Now, very interesting. There are two types of talking. One is called conversational talking. Another one is instructional talking. So now, so far, what Krishna was speaking was a conversation. Like Arjuna told in the first chapter, Krishna, I want to see who all have come. Please take my chariot and path. So Krishna there in the first chapter said, okay, Arjuna, see who all have come. There also he said. But that is not an instruction. That is not a education given by Krishna. That was just a talking, normal talking. And second one so far, Arjuna, what is this? Anarya justam, asvargyam, akirtikaram. That was also not an education, because at that time Arjuna has not asked for any guidance. So Krishna was just talking like a friend. The real Bhagavad Gita starts from now, the 11th shloka of Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. The real Bhagavad Gita starts from this point, 11th verse. 11th verse. And now it is very interesting. If you want to understand any book, you have to see the beginning of that book and the end of that book. So the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita is now. So the first word that Krishna is speaking, the first word as a instruction, as a teachings, Ashochyan, the 11th verse says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Ashochyan Anvashochastvam Prajna Vadamscha Bhashase Gatasu Nagatasumscha Nanushochanti Panditaha. So, very interesting. So, Arjuna is going through emotional breakdown. So, even though he requested Krishna for education, but Krishna is giving both. Consolation also, education also. Consoling means making them feel good, making them feel comfortable like that. The first word Krishna used here is Ashochyan. Shocha means worrying, lamenting. Ashochya means no need to lament, no need to worry. Because Arjuna is worrying, right? Somebody is going through anxiety, worrying. They are depressed. That is the meaning of shocha. Shochaniya, we say. Shuchah means worrying, anxiety, all that. So the first word of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying what? Ashochyan, not worthy of lamenting. Arjuna, don't worry. Actually, you see, when we go to doctor, sometime we are going through some problem, some health problem, feeling very depressed about it, and go to doctor. The first thing the doctor says, don't worry. Isn't it? They says, don't worry. That is the assurance they give. A good teacher, a good motivator first gives you assurance. They have to, because now Arjuna's confidence level has come down. In fact, it has come totally broken. That's what in the first chapter, the last shloka, Arjuna sat down. He was standing with his Gandiva, but he kept his Gandiva and he sat down like this, he sat down. So now when somebody has lost their confidence and all that, so Krishna has the job of first building that confidence. Sometimes people are internally broken down. Outside losing is one thing, but if you are lost inside, then you cannot do anything in your life. You're defeated inside, it's very difficult to lead your life. Outside, so many things can happen. But if you're not defeated inside, you can face any problem. But if you're defeated inside, internally, then it is very, very tough time. So actually, Arjuna is going through the tough time of completely being defeated inside. Outside, war has not started only, but Arjuna is already defeated inside. Like before the exam result comes, some people commit suicide. Before the exam result only, because they are internally defeated. Something happens, before that only I am defeated. So the first responsibility of a good guide, good teacher, good motivator is to build that confidence. And we will see that now how wonderfully Krishna does that. He will educate Arjuna, at the same time he will also console Arjuna. He motivates him. He builds his confidence by constantly telling, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. So, Ashochyan, what is the first word? Don't worry. And the last shloka, the instructional shloka of Bhagavad Gita, that where Krishna spoke, 18th chapter, where Krishna said, Sarva dharman parityajam mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo kshayishyami ma shuchaha. The same word came there. The beginning Krishna said, Ashochyan, shuchaha. Don't worry. The last word, ma shuchaha. Don't worry. The theme of Bhagavad Gita is consistent. You start the same topic and you end with the same. It should not happen that I start speaking something and finally I end talking something. So finally, no connection only. No, Krishna is very consistent in his speaking. Arjuna is worrying. Bhagavad Gita is meant to relieve a worrying person. Somebody who is going through anxiety, worries. So Krishna, how he lifted Arjuna from that state. At the end, ma shuchaha, do not worry. Isn't it? So that's what we have to see. It means this book has a consistent flow, theme, a proper beginning and the proper end. So here, Ashochyan Vashochastvam. Now Krishna start consoling and educating. So Arjuna's one of the very strong argument for not fighting was, how can we kill? How can we kill? So that was his one strong argument. He gave many arguments, but this was the strongest argument. So because Krishna is a very powerful teacher, so he wants to attack the strong argument. You can attack some weak arguments also, but Krishna wants to attack the strongest argument given by Arjuna. And that education should be given with empathy. It is given with proper understanding of his situation. I don't care what are your feelings. I will only talk to you. Like once there was one doctor. So the doctor was very nice to devotees and giving good treatment and all that. Sometimes free treatment also. So the doctor, something happened, the son died. The doctor has a son and he died. So they were all sitting and crying, like Arjuna was crying. So this one devotee went, they also came to know this doctor, son is dead. So the devotee went and they're all crying. Why are you all crying? Don't you know that your son is not body, he's a soul? And the doctor became so upset. We are all crying out of sad situation. You're so insensitive. What is happening? This devotee is giving only education. First of all, the doctor is not asking you for education the way Arjuna was asking. Dharma sammoda cheta, please enlighten me about dharma. Isn't it? On top of that, even though Arjuna asked only for education, Krishna is also giving consolation, making him feel comfortable, understanding his situation. Yeah, don't worry, all that. But now when we speak, sometimes we think I'm a devotee, I know Bhagavad Gita. So at that time we start speaking insensitively. Only so-called knowledge. Both should be there. That's what here we see. So, so far Krishna is giving knowledge of soul. And he's teaching about how it is important to understand we are not this body, you are soul. But we can also ask a next question. See, Arjuna was in Dwapar Yuga. It is not that people did not know I am not this body, I am soul. Isn't it? Especially in the first chapter, he has already told that Krishna, if we do this adharma fight, we will go to hell, Naraka. That means who will go to hell? Soul only goes to hell. No, that means Arjuna knows that we are not this body, soul, because soul goes to hell. But what Krishna is speaking about soul is different from Arjuna's general idea of the soul. People have this idea, and even in Vedic culture, that is called Karmakanda. In the Karmakanda, they have this idea, there is something called soul, but their idea is limited to going to heaven, going to hell, meant for maximizing the enjoyment of this body. Even if it is soul, the soul is meant for what? Increasing the happiness in this material world. So that is called Karmakanda. That is the section called Karmakanda. Now Krishna, after speaking about soul, so he will tell Arjuna that you should fight, right? Because he now that first question is answered. Arjuna had questions. How can we kill? And Krishna gave answer. There is nothing called killing because we are all soul and soul has no death. So then your argument is defeated. So you have to fight now. So next, Krishna again speaks. What he says, he goes on telling Karmakanda things. See, Arjuna, if you go away from your fight, then people will laugh at you. Then, akirtim chapi bhutani kataishyanti vayam. Akirti, people will always speak. Oh, Arjuna ran away out of fear. He was incompetent. He was not capable. And he says, dishonor is worse than death. Actually, Krishna only after this shloka, in the future you will see, Krishna told you should be equal in both honor and dishonor. Now Krishna is only telling, apaman is the worst than death. How can you face this apaman? Actually, Krishna is speaking at a very material religiosity level. This is how you see Bhagavad Gita begins with material motivation to spiritual understanding, the ultimate understanding. So here Krishna is saying this akirti maranad, this apaman, no dishonor, bad name is worse than death. Arjuna, so you should fight. But same Krishna tells later, no, whether it is man or apaman, you should not bother. Isn't it? But here is saying, no, apaman, you should know, you should be worried about this. And then in the many other shlokas, avachyavadam, people will speak with bad words, ill words. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and they will doubt your ability. What can be more painful? All these things. And then 37, Krishna will tell now Arjuna that you should be very calculative. You should be very calculative and look at your profit. What you will get is saying, Hatova prapyasi swargam. Fight and get killed and you go to heaven. For Kshatriyas, when you fight, when you die in the fight, even you may not win the war and you just die in the war, still you go to heaven for doing your dharma, swadharma. So he is saying, Hatova prapyasi swargam jitva va bhongshase mahim. If you win, you will enjoy this kingdom, power. If you die, you will enjoy in the Svargaloka. Both the way there is a profit. So, tasmat, therefore, uttishta kaunteya, Arjuna, get up and fight. So what is the argument of Krishna? Why should he fight? Because there is so much of profit. There is so much of benefit. Even if he gets defeated, he will still enjoy in Svargaloka. If he wins, he will still enjoy here. So Arjuna should fight. So that means when we see only the result and do our work, that is called Karmakanda. When we see our benefit and when we do our work, that is called Karmakanda. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you should fight. Even from material Karmakanda point of view also you should fight. Because there is some benefit. So this is shloka number 37. Why Arjuna should fight. Now suddenly from shloka number 38, Krishna takes complete reverse gear. He speaks completely opposite of what he spoke now. Just now Krishna said, you should calculate, look at the profit and you should fight. See, you go to heaven. See, you will enjoy, you will get the kingdom, so you should fight. No, this is 37. 38, now suddenly Krishna says, Sukha dukke same kritva labha alabho jaya apajayo tato yudhyaya yujyasva naivam papam avapyasi. He says, Arjuna, see, you should be equal in profit and loss. Whether you win, whether you lose. Right? Whether you get to sukha or dukkha. You should do your this. So actually now onwards, from the shloka number 38, Krishna is speaking Karmayoga. Till now he was telling Arjuna should fight from Karmakanda perspective. Now Krishna, because another point, okay, they're all soul, they're all Atma, right? That means Arjuna's first question was, how can we kill? Now Krishna solved that problem saying that there is nothing called killing because we are all Atmas. There is no death for soul. But Arjuna has another question, no? What is dharma? What is dharma? Dharma sammoda cheta. What is my dharma? What is the right thing to do? Karmakanda is not the right thing to do. Even if you think we are all soul and we'll go to heaven and all that. Going to heaven is the elevation of the Atma. It is definitely elevation of the Atma to heavenly planet. But it is inside the material world. It is elevation. But elevation within the material world. Now Krishna is going to talk about elevation of the Atma beyond the material world. That is to the spiritual world. That is Karmayoga. Going to heaven means what? That is also progress. That is also elevation, advancement. But advancement inside the material world. But Krishna going to speak about Karmayoga. And this Karmayoga is about elevation of the Atma to the spiritual world, which is beyond material world. And that requires a different type of mindset. That requires different type of consciousness. And that is Karmayoga consciousness. Because Arjuna's question was, what is the right way of doing the things? And the right way of doing the things is Karmayoga, Bhakti. That is the right way. That is why Krishna is answering this now. So, Sukha dukkhe same kritva. You should be equal in Sukha, Dukkha. Labha, Alabha, profit and loss. Jaya, Ajaya, success and failure. So you should fight. And this is Karma Yoga. Now Krishna goes on speaking the different aspects of this Karma Yoga. And he says how in Karma Yoga, what we do is always permanent. Neha bhikramanashosti. What you achieve, no result of Karma Yoga, also has no destruction. Like Atma has no destruction. Nasha. Avinashitu tadvidhi. Right? Avinasha. Like that, in this Karma Yoga, when you do that, what you do, the result of Karma Yoga also, no vinash. Neha bikrama nashosti. It will come with you till you reach the spiritual world. It will be with you. But Karmakanda and all is not like that. Once you enjoy it, it is all over. Again, you have to start from zero. But this bhakti, Karma Yoga is not like that. So that is how this is the right way to do. So then Krishna goes on speaking in the 41 verse. Krishna says that how we have to set goal. Arjuna has to set goal. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi Ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayanam. How Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't be distracted by temporary results. Temporary or immediate results. They are distractions. What are those? Sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, jaya, apajaya. These are all immediate. And if you get diverted by those results, then that is called Karmakanda. Karmakanda is focusing on the immediate benefit, not the long-term benefit. Because Arjuna's another question was that Krishna, I don't see any Shreya here. Shreyaha means what? Long-term benefit. Shreyaha, long-term benefit. So Krishna is saying, see, you wanted long-term benefit, no? Don't pay attention to short-term benefit, all those things. You have to focus on long-term, and that is called setting goal. When we set the goal, it is always long-term benefit. Not that we get distracted by short-term. Like so when we want to become serious in our spiritual life, people get distracted by short-term problems. Oh, what my parents will think, what my friends will say, they will all cry, they will all this one. This is all short term. This is a temporary. This is for some small time it is going to be there. So Krishna is asking, you should be long-term focused. That is Karma Yoga. What is good in the long term for them, that should be what we are focusing on, not some short term. Isn't it? So Krishna is saying, and in the most important verse that is in the Bhagavad Gita is the 47th, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. This shloka summarizes the entire Karma Yoga philosophy. What is the meaning of Karma Yoga? You have to do your duty, but don't work for temporary results. Sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, all these things. But don't think yourself as the reason for those results. Temporary results have got multiple parameters. But at the same time, don't stop doing your duty because you have a long-term goal to achieve. So you have to continue to do. Sometimes you may fail. The failure may be in terms of what? For short-term result. Prabhu, I am doing but I am not getting result. That result is what? Long-term result or short-term result? Let's say you're saying, I'm going to gym. Nobody is appreciating me that I'm looking good or not. No, that is a short-term result what we are focused. If somebody says, because nobody is appreciating, so I'll stop going. So you are mistaken. You're going for your good health. That should be the focus. Am I feeling healthy? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling energetic? That's all. So I should not stop my activity. So Krishna captured the entire Karma Yoga in the 47th verse in this Karmanye Vadikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. So Arjuna, you have to work in this consciousness and you will get liberation. You will not get papam. You don't get sinful if you work like this, sinful reaction. In fact, you get elevation, liberation to the spiritual world. So when Arjuna heard this, he got impressed. He said, Krishna, can you tell me the symptoms of a person who works in this consciousness? How he thinks, how he behaves, how is his actions? Can you tell me, right? So is shloka number 54. Arjuna uvacha. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Arjuna is asking, till now you explained to me, Karma Yoga. Can you tell me how a person behaves who is practicing Karma Yoga? How he thinks, how he's acting, how he's behaving, so that I can identify, oh, this is how Karma Yoga is. So Krishna goes on now, Bhagavan Uvacha, telling about a person who is practicing Karma Yoga, how he's not affected by the senses, how he's not distracted by the temporary result, all these things. So these are all the symptoms of Karma Yogi or a Bhakti Yogi that comes as a Sthita Prajna. And the most important verse that Krishna covers is shloka number 49. He says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So when Krishna told Arjuna that don't be attached to immediate result. For that, you have to control your senses. Yada samharate chayam kurmo anganiva sarvashaha indriyanindriyartebhya tasya prajna pratishtita. Indriya, you have to control your senses. You have to control your mind, control your desire. Don't try to satisfy all your desire. That is a symptom of a karma yogi, like that Krishna was telling. You see, now, we all have this, goal. Oh, I want to be a good devotee. I want to control my mind. I don't want to do anything sinful activities, wrong activities and all that. So if you want to achieve that goal, we should know that there are many distractions. We may fail because of distraction, even though we have good goal to achieve. So Krishna is saying how to protect ourselves from those distraction. So he's saying that there is something called safe zone. We have to create safe zone for ourselves. Safe zone. And when you have because the intention is not enough. We have a good intention. I want to become pure. I want to go back to Krishna. This is just an intention. But this intention is not enough till it becomes our action. Intention, if it is not implemented through action, it has no meaning. So for this, there is a repeated action is required. Like for example, imagine now I have mobile, I open my Chrome or a Google. Continuously, so far, I'm only checking Bollywood, something like that. That's what my search history is. So the moment I type B, immediately the search results start showing you Bollywood. Because that's my previous search. So that is called impression. Samskara. That is in the English, it is called impression. So right now I have an intention that I should do only good things. I should become pure. I should achieve Krishna. This intention, I got it in association like this, by attending a class like this, by reading book like this. So we can get an intention, good intention. But the challenge for our intention is our own past impressions. Please understand this. What is the challenge for our intention? My past impressions. So now, if the impressions are not taken care, then your intelligence will get corrupt. And then your integrity will be compromised. Integrity means what? When intention becomes action, that is called integrity. I have an intention to be on time for meeting. I am also, in my action, I have come on time. This is called integrity. Integrity means your intention and your action both are same. For that, the challenge, the problem is our own impression. Impression means my past, my old activities that I have done. They create a certain type of force within me. Like I always search Bollywood. Now I want to search Bhagavad Gita. For that I am typing B. Suddenly Bollywood is coming. So my intention is Bhagavad Gita now. That is why I am typing B. When I am typing B, I am typing B for Bhagavad Gita. But suddenly my old impressions are coming out. So what is the solution for this? What is the solution? What is the practical solution? The solution is you should continue to type Bhagavad Gita for more number of times. Then there will be a time the Google will give you both the option. Bollywood also, Bhagavad Gita also. And when you continue to keep selecting Bhagavad Gita, then the Google will give only Bhagavad Gita option. And that's what Krishna is saying. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva means you should have higher purpose in your life. To achieve the higher goal, you should have higher purpose. What motivates me to every day to go ahead with my intention? I should have higher purpose. See, like we say, see, if you chant Hare Krishna mantra, become a devotee, you get Krishna prema, love of God, all these things. But sometimes it looks, I'm trying 1 year over, 2 year over, 3 year over, 10 year over. I'm not seeing any benefit. Still so much karma is there, this is there, that is there and all that. To achieve that, sometimes it may look impractical or it is not happening. So what Krishna is saying is, param drishtva, higher vision and the higher end. There is something called higher end. That is the end. But I can have higher vision. Vision means it is there, but I'm still away from it. It is there, but I'm still away from it. I have not got it. Doesn't mean I should lose my motivation. I can still see it, but it is still far away from me. So Krishna is saying, this yogi, a devotee, Karmayogi has to develop higher vision in life. So that our higher vision or a higher purpose should motivate me even when I do not get the result. Even when I don't see result, what should motivate me? The higher purpose of my life. The higher purpose of my life should motivate me to put my efforts. So when we are dealing with this, one important thing is that the impressions that we discussed. Impression means my previous temptation. The shloka, all the shloka from 54 to 72 is about dealing with temptation, rising above the temptation. How a karma yogi, he goes beyond the temptation and practices karma yoga. There are a lot of temptation, distraction, and how to deal with it. That's what Krishna is teaching. So to deal with the temptations, distraction, what should we do? Krishna says you should create safe zone around you. Let's imagine I have a temptation for, let's say, smoking cigarette. Somebody has got temptation. The moment they see that cigarette pack, they can't control it. Or I have a weakness or temptation towards social media. That's a distraction and that is a temptation for me. So how do I deal with? Krishna says here in Bhagavad Gita, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. Don't give food to your weakness. Means what? Don't supply. Don't subject yourself to an environment where those temptations are there. You have to create a safe zone for yourself. Let's say I have addiction to social media. Too much time I'm spending with that. So what Krishna is saying is that you have to create an atmosphere where you're away from that social media. That social media is not available for you. That kind of an atmosphere you have to create for yourself. Because finally, the change is inside. But Krishna says, before it changes inside, the change has to happen outside also. You cannot say, no, anyway, my mind I have to control. It is okay to have a mobile. It is okay to have internet. It is okay to have a social media account. Finally, inside I have to control. Krishna is saying, no, that is a fact. The final victory is inside victory. Mind has to inside control. But the journey starts from outside. It has to start from outside. We cannot say, oh, I am an Atma. I am not a man, I am not a woman. So I'll mix with man and woman freely. No, if you want to control your mind, even though your Atma, it has to start from outside. Not mixing, not free mixing, not free talking, unnecessary. No. Why all those things are there? Because Krishna says for you to keep yourself safe. Like we said, that impressions, our old samskaras immediately become active. So we have to make sure that we do not have temptation around us. Niraharasya dehinaha. Rasavarjam rasopyasya. So finally, from inside, that attraction should go away. Outside you can take away social media and the cigarette, liquor, so many things. But inside you may be still feeling. That also has to change. Outside also has to change. Inside also has to change. Like people ask, Prabhu, why should I join ashram? Why can't I not practice bhakti? Yeah, the problem is, this is the problem. How much today in Kali Yuga, this outside change we can make? Krishna is saying, see, if you want to be safe, if you want to achieve your goal, you need an atmosphere where outside it is safe for you. But we know how Kali Yuga, there's no safety outside. The moment I go out, all kinds of temptation, attractions are falling on us. I'm thinking I have to be clean, I have to be pure, I should not do any sinful activity, I should become, pure devotee, go back to Krishna. Hundreds and thousands of temptations and attractions are attacking from morning till night. So where I'm going to practice all these things? Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. You have to create a situation where it is safe, first of all, outside. That is why Prabhupada said, we have created this atmosphere. It's a safe zone. It is all designed in such a way that it is most safe and taken care atmosphere. The least distraction for you to achieve your final goal. That is made available. One has to grab this opportunity if they want to achieve this goal. That is what it is said. And then, of course, we may say, okay, I'm in ashram, but Krishna is next saying, inside also you have to give up the taste. And that will happen when you develop param drishtva. Param drishtva means higher taste. That means higher vision in the life. Why am I here? Why am I here? For what purpose I am here? So that higher vision comes from being in touch with knowledge, taking association, reading shastras. So Krishna is saying this, that we have to create safe zone for ourselves. See, our folk residency is another example for safe zone where right people. So some level at least there is a safe zone. Sinful activities are not allowed. Some monitoring is there. Some guidance is there. Some advice is there. So these are all based on the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita like this, the life. So Krishna is saying. And Krishna goes on telling how in this way we should control our senses, handle temptation externally, internally. And the time will come where Krishna says the last, where he says to Arjuna, that vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumas charati nisprahaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. Arjuna said, I'm very disturbed. Krishna said, if you work in this way, shanti madhigacchati, you become very peaceful. And at last shloka, 72nd shloka, yesha brahmi sthita partha nainam prapya vimuhyati sthitavasyam antakalepi brahma nirvapanam ruchati. Brahma nirvana. You will attain spiritual destination in this way. So this is the conclusion of second chapter. So we will quickly revise. In the beginning, Arjuna was crying, full of tears, sad, depressed, and Krishna started first telling him how society perceives Arjuna's decision. Arjuna may be thinking he's being very considerate, but society is going to call him coward. Then Arjuna felt very bad. He said, no, I am not a coward. You see, I am giving a reason of Bhishma, Drona, Pujarha, they are worshipable, they are superiors. But Krishna said, no, that may be true, but this is how outside people are going to think about you. But Arjuna agreed that yes, he is confused. And he also agreed that he is going through crisis where neither he sees pleasure nor he sees meaning or purpose. So he surrendered to Krishna. So Krishna immediately started giving consolation to Arjuna. Don't worry, Ashochyan. Na shochitam arhasi, na shochitam arhasi, na shochitam arhasi. Do not worry, do not lament. He comforted, consoled, at the same time gave education. So people so much comfort people give, but they don't give education. Some people give education, insensitively they give education. Krishna did both. And then he said, see, now that you are soul, you understand this, there's nothing called killing anybody. But the point is, okay, I'm not killing, I agree that we are soul, but is it the right thing to do? Just because we are soul, does it mean I can go and kill anybody and everybody? Indiscriminately? No. Then you have to work in Karmayoga consciousness. Not only having idea of soul is important, but the idea of Karmayoga for the soul is important. So Krishna spoke about Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Karmayoga you have to do. In Karmayoga when you do, you will not get sin, papa, because that was another argument of Arjuna. Papam eva shrayad. Krishna, papa will come if you do this fight. That also Krishna solved by talking about Karmayoga. Then Arjuna asked, how do we know? What are the symptoms when I practice Karma Yoga? So Krishna spoke about symptoms of the yogi who practices Karma Yoga, Sthita Prajna. And he told how we are to protect ourselves. When we start practicing Karma Yoga, our own intention is not enough, because our old impressions will come and distract us. So we have to protect our intention by creating safe zone externally, and finally we have to change internally. And this, when you practice in Karma Yoga, Brahma Nirvana adhikachati, Shantim adhikachati. Materially also you will be peaceful, happy. At the same time you will reach the spiritual destination. Actually, all Arjuna's questions are answered now. Whatever his problem was there, it is now solved. Second chapter, Krishna gave all solutions to all the problems of Arjuna. Now, from the third chapter onwards, Arjuna goes deeper into the same topics. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is over now. All the answers are given. That is why the second chapter is called Bhagavad Gita Summarized. It is the entire Bhagavad Gita is there in this chapter. Because everything, whatever Krishna has to answer, is answered. Everything is answered. And Arjuna is also got his answer. He just goes into further detailed, deeper discussion. It is like, yeah, I got the answer, but I want to know a little more clarity. So this is rest of it. So we'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.